Well, hello once again, you beautiful listeners. I hope you are all doing well and that you are enjoying this anime season. Thank you for joining us. My name is Christian, and this is my partner on this exciting voyage, Dean.
Hello. We are back.
Yeah. This is the Anime Odyssey podcast, where a couple of random silly goobers discuss, discover, and share their love for anime with you all.
And share we shall, especially today.
Yeah. So, Dean, what's been going on with you, buddy?
Nothing. Just been busy working. This current episode I watched at work, and we will
Probably a bad idea.
Yeah, we will talk about why I probably should not have but luckily, I'm overnight, so it's not too bad. I'm there by myself, so I could
Yeah,
do
I've done that
certain
before.
things. So.
I've done that before.
Yeah. But yeah, no, other than that, doing good. How about yourself?
No, not bad, man. Just getting on the back end of my staycation here, and not excited to go back to work.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot going on other than that. Just chilling, watching an assortment of things, anime, movies, things like that. Playing some games here and there. Just trying to fill my time. And I will also watch the episode that we will be talking about very soon. I do want to say that I couldn't have been more on point with my prediction for this episode.
Yeah.
I will save the details for the discussion, but I do want to say 2 words for this episode. To a Kinder World. Is just holy shit.
Emotional damage.
So, yeah. Pretty much on point with that one.
Yeah, no, you definitely called it for sure.
So, we're going to get into our usual opening segment of Japanese. Let's do it right meow.
All right.
I got a couple. It's they're in the same vein, and it's nothing crazy, but maybe you don't know what these mean, and now you know how to say these.
All right. Let's see.
You will now know how to say Japan or how to refer to someone that is Japanese. The Nihon is Japan.
Okay. All right.
And Nihonjin is a Japanese person. So, like, if you were going to say I am Japanese.
Got it. Okay. Nihonjin? No.
Nihon.
Nihon.
Hohn is like kind of is the sound, and Jin, Jeen, is like the sound for Jin. Yeah.
Nihonjin.
Nihonjin.
Okay. Nihonjin des. Okay. That's kind of interesting, because, obviously, it's different in other languages. It's just kind of funny seeing, Japan, that's how you say Japan in Japanese.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. Japan is Nihon. That's the Japanese for this week.
Cool. All right.
Simple, very simple.
All right. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like by the time we have a whole book written, because I'm writing all these down in my book that we're gonna be able to know
at the end of the season.
Oh god. Yeah, that's the last thing I need is
I didn't tell you that part.
Test.
That's right.
Mm.
All right. On to some news.
I forget you have that.
I love it. And I love doing it. I can't wait for the moment that I do it. So.
All right. What do we got today?
Escaflowne trending in Japan. This is interesting to me because I mentioned it during one of our episodes. I can't quite remember which one, but it's been at least a few weeks. And it was one of my favorite series growing up. I would say that it definitely had a huge part in kickstarting my interest in and my love for anime. right
Which
along
one is it?
Escaflowne.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or it's the vision of Escaflowne. But I just call it Escaflowne. So it's right there along with Dragon Ball for me in terms of like what got me started in the 90s. The other thing that was weird to me was when I was brainstorming ideas for some future episodes, one of which is going to be an episode about the anime of the 90s.
Yeah.
I mentioned that to you. Escaflowne was right there in my mind when I was kind of cooking it up. And this was like weeks ago, right? So it was just weird, interesting timing. It's kind of funny how life works like that. Like I'm not saying that my thoughts or my mentioning of it willed this into existence, but it's just interesting.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Escaflowne is truly a great one, and I'm very happy that 25 years later, a little more than that, it is getting some well-deserved attention. And maybe this might bring the series back to life in some way or form of maybe a reboot or a remaster or something like that. That'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be cool, yeah.
But yeah, I'll definitely, in that 90s episode, definitely give you a lot more detail than that about Escaflowne.
Awesome. And maybe by then, maybe that'll be the one that I fast track to watch, because then I'll have something to talk about.
And it's very good.
It.
It's very old school. It's got so many nice things.
It's definitely going to be my style, because I like, even the animation nowadays is like fantastic and a lot of stuff. I mean, Dandadan is a good example, but like, I don't know what it is about like 90s animation. It just looks cool. It's
very good. It's very
good for me.
You know, it there's a lot of care put into it, I feel like.
Yes.
In a second. Hey, bless me. I sneezed.
Oh, bless you.
Now, the Attack on Titan finale film, as expected, kicked off its first weekend in Japan, ranked number 1 in the box office. So,
oh wow, okay,
very, very happy to hear that. And while we're on the topic of Attack on Titan, tickets for the new Attack on Titan Beyond the Walls World Tour official concert have gone on sale as of November 14th. So get your tickets now. The show is going to be awesome.
Is that what you showed me?
Yes.
Or is that something different? Okay.
That's what I showed you.
Okay.
If you loved Attack on Titan, then you most certainly loved or probably loved the iconic soundtracks that we got to enjoy through the entirety of the anime. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. I certainly won't be. Very excited for that. And then we've also got a few anime adaptation announcements. Nothing crazy, just a few. Backstabber in a backwater dungeon, The Catcher in the Ballpark, and The Moon on a Rainy Night are all officially getting their adaptations. So that's it. That's the news for this week.
All right. I don't think I have any news. I don't know any news. I guess just I'm trying to catch up on My Hero, the latest season. That's my news. I'm just trying to finish that, yeah.
Yeah, I still need to do that. Actually, I think more than just the last season, to be honest.
Yeah, the most recent one. I don't know when it came. Like a couple months ago, it came out, but yeah, no, I'm about maybe halfway through it. Okay. Trying to bust through it right now.
But. Yeah, I think for me, it's this season and most of last season. Not all of it, but most of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
it just sucks with breaks sometimes because I'm like, what is happening again?
Like taking a break from like mid-season.
Yeah, either that or like if you have to wait for the next season, it's like I feel like I have to watch the entire series again just to know what's happening.
I feel that. I've done that several times, and usually I elect to just go back and restart it just for that exact reason.
Yeah. That's why I can never get into anything new, because I'm always rewatching old ones to catch up.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, I know, it's vicious.
But that's okay.
It's very vicious. Same thing with pretty much all other mediums for me. I sometimes I need to just like a TV show
Yeah.
or maybe I haven't like seen. I'm looking at a sequel to a movie, and I haven't seen the movie before that in a while, and I just want to watch it again before I watch that. No, I'm just saying in general.
I see.
Using it as an example, I pretty much do that for everything.
Yeah, I mean
that way because it's not you watch. There's so much content to take in over time that it just everything gets muddied together sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for me, I've lost interest in pretty much everything except for anime and video games. So all I do is watch anime on YouTube. I rarely watch anything that's not related to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't really watch like actual shows.
Oh no.
Like live action people shows. I'm like, I don't really care anymore.
What about K-dramas?
Well, I mean, those are fine. Like stuff like that is fine. I'm just saying, like, oh, Stranger Things or what, like even though that is like a good show, it's just like I don't know. I just don't have interest in that kind of stuff anymore.
Okay.
Like, so I don't know. That's just me.
Well, we only have so much time, so I'm not gonna bash you for choosing that route. Sometimes it's a good route. Like if part of me wishes I just wanted to watch anime, but I just have so much interest in a lot of things.
Yeah. And also just paying for different subscriptions.
Yeah, you have to pay for
different things. It's like, I don't want to do that. So.
But I'm not saying I'm a self-proclaimed pirate, but I'm also not a self-proclaimed pirate.
Yeah, right. Yeah. True.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way things are going. All these companies expect us to pay for all these different services.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just the Amazon. Like you already pay $15 for Prime, and it's like, oh, you can upgrade $3 more for no ads. It's like, what was I paying $15 for?
Yeah, and that's if you're doing the monthly payment, right? If you pay like the yearly, you're not even saving that much anymore.
No.
By doing that, which I usually do it yearly, but then if you want to do that free, like you said, you got to pay the additional.
Yeah. I mean, I tried watching something on Prime now. Like I think there was like an anime movie I wanted to watch, and I just don't go on it anymore because it's just ads, and I'm like, I'm not paying $3 extra. I already pay $15 a month. Like that. Yeah. That's and I'm struggling, so it's like I'm not paying $3 more. So
I take advantage of a lot of free trials. Like I cancel some free trials all the time, and free trials come up regularly. I keep doing that. Like for HBO Max, which is to me one of the biggest ripoffs on the planet.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that. I mean, it has like a lot of the Studio Ghibli, which is nice.
Yeah.
Because the new Heron and the Boy, I think it's called, is out on that, and I haven't seen that yet. And I really want to watch that.
Yeah,
but there's not a whole lot else. On HBO Max, to be honest.
And then they do these things where all of a sudden they're merging with another service, and then they increase your price, and you don't want that content. It's just it's just a whole vicious, annoying.
I mean, cycle. I even struggle with like Crunchyroll sometimes because it's just like,
well, that's going to be increasing soon too, unfortunately.
I know, and it's just like, all right, like, sure, whatever, but also like have stuff in also dubbed too. Like all of Naruto is not dubbed on there, and I'm like, but you bought Funimation or whatever, or merged with them, whatever, and they had it dubbed, so why is your stuff not? Like just there's two different people in the world, sub and dub, just put them both if you have it, because like I can't watch it other than well,
for some people that's why it's a pirate's life.
For us.
But so and Crunchyroll is shooting themselves in the feet lately too. So who knows what's going to be going on with them soon. And
they got rid of commenting on. I liked that.
They got rid of that. Yeah, that was dumb. That was stupid.
I really enjoyed that because I could see other people's perspective on an episode. Like if I'm watching an old like Yu Yu Hakusho episode, I want to be like, oh, I wonder what people thought of this. And like I loved that because then it's part of a community. Now I'm sheltered away when I watch Crunchyroll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
No, you're not. And that's the thing is, I just didn't see anything, but I don't know why they did it. I'm sure they gave a reason.
Maybe.
But if it's because of like toxicity, I don't think that I've ever seen anything.
I have never seen anything. And like if someone like I get spoiler stuff, but you can put like, hey, there's spoilers under this.
People mark things as spoiler all the time.
Yeah.
And, like you can, and then you have to like click on it if you want to see it, right?
Yeah. Because then it like unlocks it.
I never once got spoiled by looking in the comments. And either way, I'll look in the comments after the episode.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not looking in the comments while I'm watching it.
I don't know, man. It's getting harder to do anything really, like without spending money.
Yeah.
Which sucks because it's just like I just want to enjoy this.
Yeah. Well, did you hear about the voice actor that worked for Crunchyroll? It doesn't work for him anymore.
Yeah.
They were like opening his mail for years.
Yeah, what, bro? Like, come on, why? And like giving out his gifts to like the people in the office.
Yeah, it's stupid. And voice actors have it rough enough already. Like,
yeah, we just had an episode about it.
Yeah, I also just feel really bad for the fans that sent them that stuff, thinking that he was going to get it.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of it was maybe fan like they made these things or they added their own touch to it, like that was personal, something like that. You know, it just sucks.
What a world.
Yeah. So yeah, Crunchyroll, do better.
Yeah. Please, like, just I don't know, man.
We like you. Do better.
Yeah, we do. Like you're also the only like really streaming service that is more.
Yeah, I mean the one thing I will say is High Dive is becoming very big.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about that, but like, what's on that?
A lot of things.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would say High Dive caters more towards like mature material.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
And like uncensoring things, which is nice. Because sometimes Crunchyroll's been better about it, but Crunchyroll used to be very bad about censoring like blood. I don't know if you ever watched it a while back. They don't do it anymore, which is good. But they had a big issue with that.
I'm relatively new to Crunchyroll. I've always been a Funimation bro. So
yeah, but High Dive is more, I would say, like mature audience or mature material, and they do not censor. Which is awesome.
I'll have to like check out a list of like what they have and maybe might switch then.
Yeah, I mean, if they do have they do a free trial. They do.
All right.
Poopy. Sorry, I'm dumb. I'm such a kid.
We just start devolving into toddlers. Okay.
He said doo doo.
He said doo doo.
Okay. Yeah, definitely recommend High Dive.
All right.
And there's good content on there.
Okay.
You can if you do the channels too, you could just go on. They have it on Amazon. So if you just do channels through that, you can do it through that.
Okay.
As well.
I might do that since I already pay for Amazon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, is there anything else that maybe is hidden in the back of your mind that you want to talk about before we get into the hardy part of this?
Hidden in the back? Is this a trick question?
No. I'm just wondering if maybe if there's anything else you want to talk about before we get into Don to Don.
No, I don't think so. I can't really think of anything. Yeah, no. I've been getting even better at sparking. Just a little update on everyone.
Oh yeah.
Blocking and stuff, like countering, I'm doing a lot better. I configured my controller to where buttons are easier for me to get to, so now I'm getting a little better.
Hell yeah.
So and as soon as you get it though, like you got to start training because like I want us to have like a good battle.
And I don't want listeners to think, because you mentioned as soon as you get it like a lot to me when we do this. And I don't want people to think that I'm like just never gonna get it. I swear.
No. I'm just excited about it because like I don't play online because it's like very sweaty and I'm not into that. Like I'm not here to prove. I just want to have fun, like with friends, and that's why like I like playing with like friends, or like recently I got my girlfriend, the disc. She recently just got a PlayStation, so I'm like, I'll get her the game, and we played, and man, she played this maybe once at my house, and she's really good at countering. I'm like, you just started. How do you do that? Because like I've been playing since it came out, and like I'm still trying to learn like countering, and she's just great at timing it.
Yeah.
But I just like stuff like that. I like it cinematic. I don't need it to be sweaty or anything. So
right.
I think me can have fun doing some stuff. Maybe like doing stuff for like, I don't know, for like our YouTube or something. We can like make a tournament or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
like that.
That would be really cool.
That would be cool.
Even if starting off just between us, if people, at some point I would like to make a Discord for the podcast that people can join, and we can all like have active discussions in that, or people can have active discussions with each other about anime. But also that would be the perfect place to have said
like
tournament with people.
Oh, if we can have like a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and there will be a section in that Discord for just sparking, because like I'm telling you right now, like I will be buying every character that comes out. Like I love this game. This is my game of the year.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of like going downhill, mainly because like the devs aren't really talking to us. There's been a few updates recently.
Is it like they're not like taking community feedback? Not
a lot. Recently, I think they can't, like, because like the main issue is for online, like fixing connection issues, and also like if a Z rank, which is like the highest rank, is like losing, they will just leave and they don't get a penalty, and the other person doesn't get like a win for that. So it's like that whole battle was for nothing. And so I think now they just updated it where like if you leave, you do get a penalty now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like it just seemed, because like don't leave, like because they don't want to lose their rank, so they just leave, and it's like that's so unsportsmanship, it's stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't. That's why I don't bother with that.
Yeah, those are sore losers. Bad sports.
But maybe eventually I'll try and then get my butt kicked and be like, yeah, no, maybe I'm not as good as I thought.
Maybe that's. I
can. I can handle the AI because I have it at their strongest thing.
Well, so just do that. Just live in your own world where there's no PvP, and that you feel super powerful.
Yeah,
against the AI.
That's what I do.
That's
Sometimes I feel like a little baby, though. I'm telling you, I swear to God, like the devs sometimes just chime in when I'm battling someone, because I'll be like kind of like winning, and then all of a sudden they just lock in. I'm like, I swear they're they're like chiming in, the devs. Sometimes they just see me playing, they're like, let's mess with him a little bit, and then all of a sudden they just become gods. But it's very fun. Like,
well, I will get it. Like I've mentioned to you before, I'm just waiting for it to be on sale. I just find it's so hard for me to want to spend $70 on a game.
I completely understand, because like I have to get it for the PC as well, so that's why I'm like, let me know when it's on sale, because then I'll get it.
Yeah. It's just, I know games can be worth $70, but games, the way things go on sale, especially on PC, waiting is a good choice, because a month later, 2 months later, you're gonna find something on a $10 to $20 sale, and you're gonna be much happier that you waited. It's gonna feel way more worth it.
I mean, I got it as a gift. My girlfriend got like the big deluxe edition, so I got all like the extra stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, my love. But also I knew the type of game it was, and I'm like, I need to train. Like I need to, because if I ever do online, I need to like at least start from the day it comes out. So that's why I was like super into it. But now I'm definitely into it.
Awesome.
As you can tell.
Hell yeah.
I talk about it every time.
I look forward to being into it with you as well.
I promise. It's so cinematic. Like, when you'll know.
I will know.
All right.
Alrighty.
So that's my news, I guess.
Yeah. I just wanted to see if you wanted to talk about anything else before we get started, because this next section is heavy.
Oh
It's
yeah.
and there's a lot to talk about. So we are going to start our Don to Don discussion. It is going
Yes.
to be very spoiler heavy. So
Oh yeah.
if you haven't seen this episode and you don't want any spoilers, we will see you later.
Yeah. Hurry up and go watch it and then come back.
Exactly. Yeah, it is very, very heavy, and there's we're gonna talk about a lot. So if we're
oh man,
if you're on your way out, we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
This one. Yeah, I should not have watched that work. But all right. Go on.
So yeah, Don to Don, episode 7, To a Kinder World. Is there anything you want to say before I get into
going
usual
into
positives?
Yeah, so going into it, just like a little funny thing before we get into something heavy. I misread the name of it, and I'm like, "What's Kinder?" Like I was sitting there, I'm like, "What the hell's Kinder?"
Damn
I'm like,
you,
"Oh, Kinder." Right. So I'm pretty sure I'm just.
So you're going to like a Kinder Egg world.
To a kid. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah. What a world to be at.
Yeah, freaking
Yeah.
English.
So to a kinder world.
Yes.
And yeah, this one's gonna. Yeah. So just all right.
Alrighty.
Start your thing. Let's get into it.
So he's excuse me. So
You're already getting emotional.
Here are my positives.
Okay.
Tense. A little more horror, a lot more serious, from the atmosphere to the horror aspects to the actual serious moments and topics that we encounter in the later half of the episode. This episode was positively tense. Any thought on that?
No, yeah. Well, I mean, just the beginning of the episode was anxiety inducing. Like just the POV of it. And I actually thought it was real at first. I had to like rewind and be like, wait. Is it actual like animation, or was that like, are they trying to sneak in like
they did
like
a great job? So obviously that was very CG.
Yes.
But they are so good at what they do, in my opinion. Like they use, that you can do tricks to make things look more realistic, right?
Absolutely.
So they do, they do the very hectic movement of the camera to kind of hide the fact that it's like all CG. And it was very well done.
Yeah.
But
I will say this episode for me, like I think was beautifully written and like directed. Like
is very much
just
so.
with like the shaky cam at the beginning, just like how things were like centered and stuff like that, like camera wise, just like the direction of it.
Let's be real. They're doing nothing other than proving that they're just great with production in that regard. But yeah, very tense. Right from the open after the intro sequence, like the sound was on point. That eerie horror in that eerie horror department, right?
Yes.
You had all the screeching and the scraping metal sounds. Like it all had me wincing and it creeped out. It was very, very well done.
And whenever we do these like reviews, I have it like playing in the background just in case I see something and bring it up. And I'm rewatching that beginning, and it's just like, God, it looks so good. Like they start this off so well, and then it transitions to where we left off. And I swear, like the animation looks better. Like the people look,
I mean,
more
it
detailed.
just looks so good.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a little bit more. Maybe this was an episode where you see a little bit more budget,
money,
and it's a good possibility. But like we've been talking about throughout all these episodes, they've just done such a good job at being consistent that bar, that low, whatever that low bar is so high that it doesn't
It
really
really
feel like
is.
that big of a deal, right? It's just
Yeah.
we at this point we expect beautiful animation
Mhm.
and high quality, and they're doing a great job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought they couldn't surprise me, and with this episode they did. Like they went so much like beyond what I continuously thought. I don't know. I just really liked this
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
So
My next positive: heartbreaking, heart wrenching.
mhm, mhm.
Yes, this is a massive positive. When anime
Yeah.
or any medium in general can make you feel,
Mhm.
can make you angry, or can bring you to tears, it is an absolute positive. In the instance of this episode, it was all three and then some.
Absolutely. Yeah. Same. I mean, I don't cry much. I'm pretty much a husk of my former self.
Yeah.
But this one definitely, especially hitting home. I don't know how far we want to get into it at the beginning, but like also being a father,
Mm-hmm.
this also is like, that would be
Yeah, I
terrifying.
thought about you. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
A
so,
father to a daughter.
yeah, yeah, especially a daughter, two daughters. I got
Yeah.
my stepdaughter and then my my other daughter, and yeah, no, just imagining them in this situation, like,
Yeah. Or any similar thing.
yeah, just not, yeah, not good. Not That's horrifying. It's horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into what
Absolutely.
happened
Yeah,
later, but
we're at like this we're actually going to talk
yeah,
about everything
yeah.
because it's important. So for my third overall positive is the
Mhm.
character development.
Mhm.
While Ida doesn't have as much development in this episode as I originally thought we were going to get, the development that she did have was massive and impactful.
Yes.
Instead of instead of focusing on Ira, we got to see the human and the mother that acrobatic Silky was prior to becoming this terrifying spirit.
Yes.
And it we'll talk about it, but it is brutal. It's terrifying. It's
Heavy man.
incredible. It's a lot of things all at once.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts on that, sir?
Um. Yeah. No. Not really. I mean, when we get into it, I'm sure a lot of things will come up, but
Yeah.
yeah, initial thoughts are made.
Cool. So, I'll get into my notables, and this kind
All
of
right.
be like a step by step, kind of how I've usually been doing it, where we kind of talk about things as the episode goes on.
Okay.
So I already mentioned this, but right from the opening, after the intro sequence, things were spooky. It was eerie. Like the sounds, like gave me a little bit of chills. That horror chill. Sounds that give you a visceral reaction, like a scraping, things like that. Very, very good sound. A lot of just awesome horror elements in the opening 4 minutes. The between the scenes and the sounds, they just in 4 minutes they just killed it. Then Momo. So we get to the point. They're going to be fighting. Momo tells Okurun to blow acrobatic Silky away, and this is probably the last, funny moment that we get for this episode, right? In my opinion, like this was it, and because I just thought it was funny the way that he reacted. He was like responding to Momo in that moment, and he's like, he's never successfully blown anyone away yet, and he's kind of like in tears because of that.
Yeah,
but for some reason, I'm kind of taking it as if he's saying that he hasn't blown a girl away. I don't know why.
Oh,
Yeah, just made her blown her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought that was funny. I thought maybe you could take it both ways, not just like blowing something away with full throttle.
His power. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that now. Actually.
That's
that
what
makes
I took.
It funnier.
It made
though.
it funnier to me. I don't know
why.
Yeah. So,
it
but yeah,
make it funnier.
That was in for very good reason. We're very used to humor in this anime, and like great timed humor. And
Yeah.
in here, they take a step back after this, and for very good reason.
Oh yeah.
So the moment Okarun uses full throttle, blowing acrobatic silky back, and the breaking of that pink like barrier animation, where they, that you have the hue.
I love that they changed it because it was like the pink hue, like pretty much all of last episode,
and it like shattered, like almost as if it was a barrier. That's why I say like barrier like, because it's very similar to like in Jujutsu Kaisen, where they put up their barriers to keep people from the outside. It is very similar to that kind of shattering. But the animation there, right back into the normal world, you could call it, was really, really awesome.
It's stunning. Like, I don't use that word, and it's like it just like it flashes the pink like back to pink to like daylight to pink, and then it's like all daylight, and like the animation color, the color palette changes, and it's just like this studio, I'm blown away by them.
Yeah,
I really
take words directly out of Okarun's mouth.
Oh yeah, but I am like, it's just, like I've seen a lot of like impressive anime, and I thought like, oh, Jujutsu Kaisen's never gonna get better than this, because I personally think like that animation is top tier.
Yeah,
but,
it's
like,
very, very high quality.
They honestly they step up like 2 more tiers above Jujutsu.
Yeah, in my opinion as well. I think they, like, Mappa is very well known for their animation. They're considered like one of the top tier, if not the top tier.
Yeah.
And I think Science Sadu is, like I've mentioned this before, I think the statements made, we're all aware of you now. And
I think everyone's aware now.
Yeah, and we can't wait to see what you do next, and continue to evolve your animation.
Absolutely. And they're like a smaller studio. Did they only start with
They have a few other things.
What was it? Crybaby?
Devilman Crybaby.
The name.
Was like the bigger one that I knew of.
Okay.
But they have a few other things.
Okay. I'd like to check out their other ones and see how, like the progression to this was.
I think Devilman Crybaby might have been like the most recent though. I could be mistaken. I'm not sure.
Well, I think that came out like what, 2019 maybe?
Yeah, it's been a few years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But yeah, in that scene, that like the emphasis they put on the explosion from Okarun hitting his full throttle was pretty awesome. It was just like felt very impactful and damaging.
Yeah.
So great scene, very great scene. And then we finally get the confirmation that, we've kind of been going back and forth on it about whether or not the ball was a nut sack or both his balls, because originally I thought it was one ball, but then we're like, oh, well, maybe it's actually a nut sack. Yeah. We get basically the confirmation that the golden ball is one of the two.
One ball.
Momo says Okarun got one of his family jewels back.
Yes. I do like that, like, before all the heavy stuff, the ball talk is very funny.
Yes.
Just like it breaks the intenseness of it.
You think when they get his second ball, they're gonna get to make a wish?
Maybe. That would be funny.
Yeah. And now, this was very surprising to me. It wasn't readily apparent because of how fast things are going, but Ida is dead.
Yep.
Was not expecting that in this moment. Like I like to take notes as I'm going, but I was like, surely they revive her.
Yeah, right.
Right. It would just be crazy if they didn't, because she's in the intro so much, and I just thought that was funny. But not funny that she's dead. Very like, right. I was like, all right, excuse me.
But the golden balls on this studio, if they actually did kill her, though.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
The phrasing there. That would be massive, heavy golden balls.
Yeah.
So, and this was impressive to me, and I I'm so impressed by Momo's character, but her being able to in this moment like keep her composure in a very tense moment and being able to direct Okurun to start CPR,
that's right.
and like with clear direction, and then the even the part where she's directing Turbo Kitty to call 911. These are things, steps that you do when you're actually performing CPR. It's what you're trained to do, right? And obviously they probably have, I don't know what it's considered in Japan, if it's like health education, things like that, but you do have classes like that where you would learn CPR in school. Then I'm guessing that's where she's gotten this ability from.
I feel like Japan would
take it
prepare
very seriously.
Prepare their students for stuff like that, just so they can help each other, unlike Americans.
Because I will tell you what, when I know it very well now because of being in security. But
same.
In school, I was bad. Like, I did not remember a damn thing. I didn't care. Yeah. But I do believe that in Japan, it would be taken far more seriously, and people would probably take it far more seriously.
Yeah, I wish they would do that more, like everywhere here, like other countries too.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was impressive. I was very happy.
I will say, notably, this is where I noticed like the animation looked better, like the detail in the people, because when how do you pronounce the girl's name? The pink-haired girl,
Ida.
Ida.
Yeah, like it's like a it's like it's not a rolling R, but it's an R that
yeah. Just forgive me for my pronunciations.
Yeah. But you can in my opinion, go. It's fine if you call her Ira. All
right. But I noticed like in her detail when she's just like laying there and like they bring over like it just looks better. Like it looks so much more detailed. I don't know if
it's a scene I think this episode required, for especially with everything that it entails. I think it required probably a little bit more detail.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that it objectively did, because I think I personally felt like each episode was very detailed, and I know you do too.
Oh, yeah,
I know that's not what you're saying. But I think this one probably like deserved and required just a little bit more detail because of all these topics.
I have a still frame of Akarun, and it's just like I can see his emotion in his face. Not like I couldn't in previous episodes, but it's just I don't know. There's just something different. I can see. I can see something.
But I think I think it might even be just because it's such a different tone. Maybe it's standing out to you more. Because it's more serious. It's like in it, like I said about the animation maybe requiring more detail. I think it's also requiring your attention.
I think that is a good point. So, but yeah,
good point. Very good point.
Yeah, I really like this scene. Definitely made me like really notice things about the animation.
Yeah,
not that I didn't before. But
I didn't take that way at all. I just was trying to clarify it in case anyone else did.
Oh yeah, no, that's how you described it is good. Like they needed to have like an extra step or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah. The scenes so far in this are brutal. Like all these little things, very brutal. Like whether it's blood, like when acrobatic Silky's chasing them all around, or chasing Okurun around in the warehouse, and her hair's getting tangled up and everything. Like even there's like a brutalness to that because there's just the detail in the grotesque hair. It's just there's just a lot to it. It's very it's well done. It's all brutal.
And even like when she was like ripping her hair, that hurt my hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, just like, and then like hearing it, and I know there was a scene where she like goes to the ground, and I was so worried that her like toenails were gonna like make a scraping sound on the
I saw that. I was like, please don't break the nail.
I'm like, please don't. that made me cringe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a ooh way.
Yeah. So yeah, like I'm paying attention to the time too of this episode, and we aren't even 10 minutes into the episode, right?
Yeah, no.
And things are insane. They are crazy. Everything is able to stay detailed, and you still are getting these impactful moments that make sense.
Yeah.
But so yeah, acrobatic Silky after she gets blown away by Okudun gets up sooner than expected. While she's not aggressive in this moment, she wants to surprisingly help Ida by augmenting its aura with hers, because this is apparently what Ida's missing now after being
to heal her, because she's passing on right now.
Yeah, after being eaten, I guess.
Right.
Turbo Kitty makes mention that because she was eaten and she doesn't, and Okudun and Momo, I guess, kind of got a little bit on the lucky side that they didn't come out in the same way. But basically, the moment she was eaten, she lost her aura.
Oh yeah, because she's only human, and if you get eaten by what are they called? The yokais?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think that's what Turbo Kitty referred to her as.
Yeah, so that's what killed her. And the other two weren't affected because they have kind of like powers, so
yeah,
like psychic powers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And while Ira does have this, I think it's too latent, even though it's come out a little bit since she got the golden ball. It's too latent to really do anything.
Yeah. Okay.
But Momo doesn't trust Silky. I'm just gonna go ahead, instead of doing the whole thing saying acrobatic Silky, I'm just gonna say Silky.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Momo doesn't trust it, and this is so brutal. It like immediately rips its jaw down and apart, like very, very brutal. Blood's pouring, like the way it just splats on the ground. It's visceral. Very.
It was awesome.
So now, I just want to say, like, there's still, even with everything said, there's still so much to unpack in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
The episode, it tore me down. The rest of the way, it dug deep into me. It made me bawl my eyes out. It's up there with some of the saddest episodes of all time, in my opinion. And then additionally, it's up there with some of the greatest episodes of all time in general, in my opinion. And yes, it deserves to be in that specific discussion, in my opinion.
Yeah. The last time I felt this way, I'm not going to spoil this other anime, but you might know what I'm talking about, is there's a Full Metal Alchemist episode where, there's a kid involved, and
people
I've never felt that. Yeah. I've never felt...
It's the fusion thing, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, I still need to watch it, and I think I got it partially spoiled for me watching someone talk about it on YouTube.
No, it's okay. Like, for whatever reason, like, that is the most known thing about that anime, and like, even my girlfriend, she hasn't seen it, but she knows that part. I'm like, damn it, because like, I wanted to show her that, and it's like, you already know that part. Like, that's like, if only it was new, again. And people could experience that again. But it reminds me of that, like that feeling was brought up because of, there's a kid involved in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, back when I watched Full Metal, I wasn't a dad, and now I am. And now I have different perspective on the world, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like, because like now it's like, okay, they need to be protected. Like, I need to do what I need to do to help them be better, to have a better future or whatever. So, this episode sure got me. I was doing my round, bawling my eyes out.
Yeah. That's so crazy to me, because I have also cried at work watching anime. And I'm like sitting there, like I'll sit at the desk. I'm like, please don't come in. Please don't let
anyone come in,
because
please.
At a school, people are coming in constantly, and I wasn't expecting to cry, and it's just like, please, no one, like, I don't want someone coming in and be like, hey, are you okay? I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough to where I'm at a center, that no
Mm-hmm.
one comes in,
Yeah.
um, in the weekends, and also it's at night, so it's like, if anyone comes in, they are also probably into anime and understand. So
Are they hiring?
I don't know.
I won't get into that.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
yeah.
yeah,
All right. So let me continue
yeah,
onto this. Uh, in this next part, we get to see into Silky's adult life prior to being a spirit.
mm-hmm.
It's absolutely brutal. It's heartbreaking and all too real. It,
Yeah,
the part of the episode had some extra heft to it for me. It brought back a lot of memories of my own mother and how life was growing up, how hard my mother worked just to try to make ends meet.
yeah,
And before I continue, it's going to be kind of depressing, but I want to say this as I've experienced it.
mm-hmm.
And it's very easy to fall down a path where you start to lack communication for whatever reason that may be. If you haven't talked to your mother in a long time, I implore you to reach out and talk to her, even if it's just a simple check-in. I promise you that you do not want to wake up one day or be at work one day and you get that call that she passed away, that she's no longer with you. There's nothing like the feeling of no longer being able to talk to someone that you care about, that you love. It is indescribable. That is not a pain or a despair that I wish on anybody in this world. This goes for anyone that you love, not just your mother, but
Right.
I just use that as an example because that is a chapter of my life that I've continued to struggle with for 13 years. And I just wanted to touch on that because
Yeah,
hopefully it can help someone listening if they're needing to hear that. So sorry for bringing the vibes down, but
no, it's good, man.
continuing on what we're about to talk about anyway is still going to do that and bring the vibes down.
Yeah, well, also, like, thank you for sharing that, dude. Like, I'm starting to tear up over here. Like, damn,
Sorry.
now I gotta text my mom too.
Yeah,
But no, man, I'm sorry to hear that, and yeah, like, I bet this was also hard to watch for you,
dude. This episode,
like,
when
like,
I'm not even mincing my words when I say that it tore me down.
Yeah, damn, dude.
I hadn't cried that much in a long time. I'm trying to think of, like, I think from the last episode, probably Rem's speech was the last time I cried like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And this was similar, if not much worse. And we're gonna get into this now. It's gonna get very descriptive. I want to touch on everything. I think it's important that we touch on this because there are some very real things here.
Absolutely. And I do find it a little interesting. Like, we have different reasons for why this episode is hitting us so closely. Like you with your mom, like, and then me with my kids.
Yeah. But
But
the thing, like, it's crazy because I immediately thought about you and you're not like you with your daughter and like my want to have a daughter because I do have that want, and I thought about me being in that situation too. There's so much to unpack, like, and it makes you unpack things in yourself too.
Yeah. I will say this: if this ever happened to me, those people would not be leaving that house unfazed. I will say that.
Yeah.
My adrenaline when it comes to stuff like that, like, I don't care if my arm falls off.
Yeah.
Those people will be getting what they get.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel that.
Oh.
I don't blame you.
Papa Bear will be angry.
Good, very good. And you can summon me too in that moment, please.
Good.
But yeah, so here's the second half of the episode. Yeah. So as Momo, and I just want to say to you that I am going to be talking a lot here. And
Yeah,
so
no,
just feel free to interject whenever.
yeah.
And
Do
I
your
can
thing.
pause.
I'll just say like I have something to say about that, and then
Okay.
I can
Okay.
do that. That way, I'm just not like bah, 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 and it. So
All right.
all right.
So as Momo is connecting Ida and Silky's aura together, she's able to do this with her telekinesis hands, and she grabs onto Ida's soul, essentially her aura, and then Silky's aura, and this connects them all three of them together, and we flash back into Silky's life as a human, of which are the final days of her life, and they're extremely heartbreaking and hard to watch, but also there are some very touching and heartwarming moments within as well. And this is what also made it very hard to watch, is the ups and like bringing you up, bringing you down, bringing you up, making you smile, making you cry. Like it was very emotional.
Yeah.
So we see a woman right off the bat who is naked in a bed, shrouded in the same dark pink hue that was present during the Silky fights in the end of last episode and to the start of this episode. And she is staring up at the ceiling, and you immediately get this sense, the sense that this isn't good. Even as the scene starts to put itself together. We hear a shower running in the background. Clothes are scattered on the floor. What appears to be about 30,000 yen in cash, along with a hotel room key on the side table, and the final piece being a timer going off on the bed. So now the scene is clear, and I don't think I need to say much more about what this is.
Yeah. I didn't get it at first, but rewatching it yesterday, I was like, now I understand.
Yeah.
Now I understand what this is. Yes.
And for those wondering, because while it's not objectively important, it is important to who is performing this act. 30,000 yen is approximately $195 in USD. So that alone gives you an idea that this is someone trying to scrape by and is in a very tough situation. Do you have any thoughts?
No, because like when I first watched this, I didn't understand like what her profession was until I watched it a second time, and I'm like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
And just I know the struggle. You know, we all know the struggle financially, and sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to, protect your family.
Oh, absolutely.
Take care of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So she heads home after this in the rain. On the way, she passes a store window that has a very familiar dress in it, but it's not quite the one that we see her wearing as Silky. It's much smaller, and for a child. She arrives at what appears to be her home, or a home, and stands at the door holding a key, not immediately going in as if preparing for something. And then you audibly hear her take like a wavering breath as she opens the door. Now, I don't know if this was intentional, but the setup of that and like the scene for this is amazing. I don't know if I don't know if it's intentional. I feel like the way that Science Saru has been, or the creator of Don to Don, it just seems like they're just brilliant, and they did intend this. From the dark exterior to the door opening, giving way to like a vibrant light.
Yeah.
Just a nice touch if it was intended, going from a dark to light, waiting, and then having like her daughter waiting for her at home.
Yeah. That's her light.
Yeah, the light being her daughter, who was ever so happily running through the just opened door to greet and hug her mother with the biggest of smiles. Was awesome.
Oh.
And then the way her expression changes, and she kneels down and to her and hugs her and says she's home, with such a very motherly tone. It made me smile, but it's also where tears started like coming for me because I was thinking because God, I just have feelings for that.
No, I absolutely understand that. Like when the daughter's looking up at her. Oof,
yeah,
I know that look.
mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and then
yeah,
this is where I started thinking about you.
Oh man, I'm already crying now.
Oh
Damn.
God. So we started to see more glimpses of both her and her daughter. We see her teach her daughter ballet, which now we kind of know why her spirit name is Acrobatic Silky. Because ballerinas are
I didn't
very
put that together.
acrobatic.
Okay.
We see that she doesn't just do what we just saw for money, but she also works at a convenience store, or a little bit more Japanese, a konbini.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, konbini.
Konbini?
Yeah, konbini. It's a convenience store.
Oh, cool.
We see the beauty mixed with her harsh reality outside of that. So it's jumping back and forth between that, right?
Yeah. and I did notice that every time she's doing that job, it's that pink hue. And then when she's with her daughter, it's just bright and vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can see the contrast between the two worlds that she has to live in to, live in this world. So.
Yeah. And then there was the glimpse of excuse me for a second. I need to like start drinking tea when I'm talking like this.
Why does it? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Some like nice honey tea or something.
Yeah, something to ease a little bit, make things feel a little bit more smooth.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get a little glimpse of them both eating dinner together, and clearly saying our word from last week, itadakimasu.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was such a cute moment. I just want to point that out because specifically because of last week too, because it was just timing of life. It's funny. We get to a scene where she's counting the money that she has saved up, of which she takes from. And you can see in the background this calendar with the 25th circled in red, which for most people means that something important is coming up. I don't know if it actually means anything in this case, but again, the creators have been so crafty already that I believe that it has meaning.
Yeah.
She uses the money from the envelope to buy the red dress that she saw for her daughter. Yeah. And the look on her daughter's face says it all. I believe that you know what that feels like. Giving your daughter a gift is probably super exciting and feels great. And there's not a lot of things that feel probably as great as that.
Yep. No, you're exactly right.
And then we get a really neat, like, you don't see this often. We get a really neat kind of gimbaled reel of beautiful moments with them. Like it's
almost like a montage.
Yeah, but it's like gimbling, like a panoramic kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually. Yeah, it does like spin around.
Yeah. And we find that the occasion for this is for her daughter's birthday. And they have a nice cake. And if I'm to assume based on the number of candles, it's her daughter's 5th birthday.
Yeah.
So she's 5 years old.
Oh.
And the night ends with her daughter laying down in her lap as Silky looks outside longingly into the starry night. And that's just like that beautiful scene. But we hard cut to the horrible. Her daughter crying and screaming at the top of her lungs. And from this moment on, I was like I was already, in tears a good bit, but from this moment on, it just like waterfalled, like for the next 8 minutes, and it gradually just got worse and worse and worse. We hear some words from a male voice. There's a struggle. This piece of shit slams Silky on the floor. I don't want to describe too much here. It's very real, and these things legitimately happen. But we see loan sharks, or maybe it's Yakuza. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's just too.
I'm guessing it's more of a loan shark situation. I don't want to just say that it's Yakuza, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's incredibly fucked up, and it gets really ugly really fast. It's a scene not for the faint of heart. These people came to collect, and she did not have all of the money. And, she chose trying to do something nice for her daughter and seeing the happiness on her daughter's face over potential consequences she might face. And that is a mother of mothers right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt so bad. And I just, the struggle in combination with her daughter's distress was pretty much just unbearable. And it, like I said before, it still continued to get worse. She ends up suffering deep wounds that end up becoming fatal as the mother in her continues to fight with everything to keep them from harming and taking her daughter. And they take her daughter as she's on the ground, unmoving, eventually. Anything from you? Any thoughts?
Nope, I'm just trying to keep my composure over here. Yeah, no, you're good. Because, like, when the daughter started crying, that's when I super lost it. Because it's like, that's the worst.
Dude, this whole time, like, and I'm not even afraid to admit, like, I'm legitimately bawling, and the subtitles, like, are hard to read at this point.
Yeah.
So she gets up eventually, and we are greeted with where the episode opens. A mother desperately, painfully running after her daughter in the rain. The camera work here to
it's frantic and
portray the moment is intense, and the way the voice actor, she's just so good. I don't know how it was in English, but I can tell you that in Japanese it was visceral. And she gets to a point and she falls as she sees a car driving away. The car driving away with her daughter. And these are her brutal final moments as she reaches out to her daughter and collapses. And fuck me, man. This was so hard.
Oh, man.
We fade to a starty. Excuse me. It's hard to even talk about this stuff.
It's okay.
We fade to a starry dreamscape where we get to see Silky perform ballet. And we finally see how incredibly graceful she is. We see the final memory, her daughter thanking her for all that she does. And God, that hits so freaking hard, man.
What a beautiful scene too, like with her, like on the lake or whatever, with the starry background, doing that. Like, oh, it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's just too good. It's actual art. So everything now is in shades of gray and white, with the exception of the ever so prominent red, which is dripping from all over her. And this is where we start her transition to acrobatic Silky. Her memories are gone. Like, she doesn't remember her daughter, but she still feels that she has lost something very important to her. And we are now at the scene where, in the last couple of episodes, we see Ira seeing and tugging on her tattered clothes while she's standing there, calling her mommy. But Ira quickly realizes that she isn't her mom, and Ira's father is calling out to her, telling her to come here. And so we confirm here that at a young age, Ida can see spirits because she is interacting with Silky at this moment, and nobody else can see her. I am, and the reason I gather this, and is because the father, obviously, if he saw Ida tugging at clothes of some bloodied up woman, like all ragged and destroyed, I'm sure he would have reacted far differently.
Yeah, it would have been a different scene, I feel.
And we find out that Ida's mother is passed away at some point, and everything, like all these things are coming together now.
Mm-hmm.
And Silky now believes that she is Ida's mother, and they are connected in this way. And we start to see her transform into the spirit we know as acrobatic Silky.
Yeah, her hair starts like growing, and she starts turning into that spirit.
Yeah, that was very like Grudge-like too, like that.
Yeah, it did remind me of that.
Mm-hmm. It was very creepy.
Yeah,
and so Ida awakens, and Momo releases the connection. Both of them saw everything. They experienced everything. How Silky became Silky and the events leading up to that moment. And now we see Silky starting to fall apart and perish as she begins to talk about how regretful she is for becoming a monster. Like her memories are back. And, Momo's breaking down on the side. She's in tears, and she's trying to think of a way to help Silky, to help her rest in peace instead of fading with regrets. And Turbo Kitty isn't helping.
Yeah.
She's. But
I would like to point out something, like as Momo's breaking down, I like how Okarun is like, you hurt her and I'm gonna hurt you now. Like you can his feelings for her is more
she was hurt.
Protective, but she's like, no. She it's not like that. She's not hurting her, so
but I
just liked that moment.
Yeah, no, it is good. But in this moment, Momo's clearly very rattled by seeing like all these events. And Turbo Kitty states that there's nothing that a stranger can do, implying that maybe someone important can. And at this point, I think you can kind of gather, maybe you don't, but maybe this someone important is Ida. Silky continues to spiral as she reminisces, and you get flashbacks. But she reminisces while feeling like she failed her daughter in every way, and that she would have been so much happier as someone else's daughter. And she just keeps spiraling into regret.
And let me tell you, as a father, I have those thoughts too. It's like, am I doing enough? Like, would you be better with a different dad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I completely understand those thoughts, and that is not a thought to have.
Yeah. And now, this next moment is like incredible for me, and it made me, it continued to keep me emotional, and it still pulled at my tears. So Ida does the most selfless thing here. She runs into Silky's arms. You can see like the tears on her face while she's sitting there understanding everything that's happened. And she holds her as she continues to fade away. But in this moment, she acts as Silky's daughter. And Silky sees her as such, and she gets to see the daughter that she knows and loves looking up at her. She sees her smile, like the smile that you got to see in the flashbacks.
Yeah.
And she tells Silky that she was the happiest person in the universe. And Silky gets to feel like she's holding her daughter again. Just a absolutely incredible scene.
Wrenching. Yeah.
You see both versions. You see Ida as her daughter, but then you also like it goes into reality too, and you see Silky in her horrific, like, tattered form, and there's just tears pouring out of her eyes. It's very, very impactful. and then it flashes to Silky as her human self, holding her daughter, like looking out into the stars. And Ida says, please, so that nobody ever hurts them, take them to a more fortunate, kinder world. And Silky fades away with no regrets. And I absolutely just love this moment, and I absolutely love it for Ida. That is her incredible character development right there. That the whole episode was not about her, but she still had just this incredible moment.
Her hero moment. Like, as soon as we met her, man, B word.
Yeah.
You know, like I hated her immediately. And now it's just like, damn, like you helped someone move on, not going to the void. You helped someone actually go somewhere better.
Mm-hmm.
So, damn.
Do you have any closing thoughts before I get into my closing thoughts and score?
I mean, it's a roller coaster, this episode. Like, it's beautifully written, beautifully told, directed. This episode is a 10 for me.
Yeah.
Just getting that out of the way.
And dude, I'm sorry, like, as I'm talking, like, I can feel myself, like, getting, like, deeper and not projecting as much, because, like, it's starting to well up again.
Yeah. No, it's completely fine. Like,
yeah.
That's why I had you talking more, because I'm over here trying not to lose my shit.
Yeah, but that last thing from Ida, dude, was like so freaking beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And just the scene, and like with Silky fading away, like into dust, into the wind, and you can tell in that moment she no longer has regrets because of Ida.
Yeah.
It was just insane. So yeah. What would you score this episode before I give my thoughts and score?
Oh, definitely 10. 10. It's already a 10.
Well deserved. Yeah, well deserved.
When she fades away, I like to point out, because I'm rewatching it. Her like dark pieces turn bright.
Yep.
So like you said earlier, with like her darkness, and then when the door opens, turning into bright.
Yeah.
Her like pieces fading away are like turning bright now. And like I that's a good like full circle coming around like that.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Really nice.
Okay. So as I said before, we got into it. This episode tore me down and broke my heart into pieces. And as Ida said at the end, I won't forget, I swear. I will never forget this episode. This episode is exactly what I thought it would be in terms of how good it was going to be, as I stated in the last episode. It is the 10 out of 10 episode. Maybe I will start trusting my chills more often. What an incredible trip Dawn to Dawn has been so far, and I don't want it to end.
Me neither.
So yeah, do you have anything else you'd like to chime in on? That was a lot to talk about, a lot to take in, a lot to break down, but I don't have anything else to say, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I think I've been traumatized enough. Good.
I brought it all back up just to traumatize you again. But just phenomenal episode. All the other episodes have been phenomenal as well. They are all very good, but this episode, 7th episode, has taken the cake so far by it. And, you know, it's just, it feels like a wide margin, but I can't say that because all these other episodes have just been so good in their own way.
Yeah.
This episode just hits.
Yeah, especially if you can relate to anything in this episode, whether you're, a parent or lost a parent, or even just a kid in general who, just there's little emotional things in this episode that I think pretty much everyone can relate to.
Dude, in the strength of her, like,
Yeah.
to be able to be the mother that she needs to be in front of her daughter, while on the outside she deals with like the actual unfortunate reality, is it just says so much about her as a person, and it hurts knowing what happened to her and her daughter. Yeah.
No, exactly. And shout out to my girlfriend, because she is a single mother.
Is she watching Don
her
Don?
daughter. She watched the first episode with me, and then she just hasn't really had time to like either sit with me or watch on her own.
Okay.
But I think she might be interested. I want her to watch it at least up until this episode, because I want to see, because I'm the crier of the group, I feel like, when it comes to like at least sad anime stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to see her reaction to this episode. But
yeah,
it also made me cry, not for me being a parent, but also
you'll probably cry even more if you watch it with her. I almost guarantee that.
Yeah,
you'll probably cry together.
Yeah, because I definitely cried over me being a parent, but her being a parent as well. Like, seeing, like, I know this is the kind of mom she is. Like, she will pass up her happiness to make her daughter happy, you know? So,
yeah.
So that also hit hard too. So, you know,
yeah.
Damn, now I gotta text her.
All right.
Show her that I appreciate her.
Well, that does it for this episode. Episode 10. Oh, and let me just say, we've made it to 10 episodes.
Yep.
10 episodes. Technically, there's been more than 10 because there's.
Oh, okay.
But this is the labeled 10th episode because of the bonus episodes. We've made it to 10. It's a big moment. And that will also do it for the discussion of Don to Don episode 7.
Yeah.
To a Kinder World.
Or how I read it, a Kinder World.
Yeah. So
it took me way longer to realize what that said. I just want to point that out.
It's all good. It's all good. That stuff happens all the time.
What is Kinder? I'm like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm at work, my brain just doesn't work. Like,
it's all good.
I don't want to be there already.
It's all good. No need to worry about that at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the Anime Odyssey. The best way to find us is searching us on YouTube or Spotify. Search the Anime Odyssey. And we are also on Apple and Amazon, but our primary home is YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah.
So you can find us there. Thank you again for your time and joining us. We appreciate you.
We do.
And thank you, Dean, for joining me once again and continuing to join me week in and week out on this adventure. This one specifically was a sadder part of the adventure.
Yeah.
But it's good to have you.
Yeah, it's good to be here. It's good to be traumatized with others. I love it. But no, in like a good way, kind of. You know, it is art, you know, and they're clearly doing good if they're getting that reaction from people.
I don't think any more needs to be said about Science Sadu and how amazing they're doing. But yeah, we coming up soon. We've got an episode. Probably do an episode on the anime of the 80s, an episode on the anime of the 90s, so on and so forth. So you can look forward to those. And then we also be doing episodes, or a episode on Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Dean and I duel it out to the death.
I still gotta make a deck, but yes.
So you can look forward to that. Until the next episode, we will discuss the next episode of Don to Don and some other things. So yeah.
Oh, hopefully this next one's a little lighter. That we need a break from.
It's gonna. There's no way that we don't, especially based off the preview. There's no way they don't bring us up a little
That's
bit.
true. That's true.
So yeah, thank you again, Dean.
Of course.
And thank you all again for listening. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.